All right, thanks for joining us today for this quick look at Gamora Prime, number 47B from the War of the Realms set. Let's take a look at her keywords, then we'll break down what she does, take a look at the back of the card, and we will look at her on the battlefield so you have a great understanding of what makes this figure so great. All right, she comes in with the Asgardian, Battle World Asgard, Battle World Other, Guardians of the Galaxy, Police, and Warrior keywords. So this set has a ton of Asgardian, and then Warrior and Police are okay for some builds too, and we're seeing a lot more of the Guardians of the Galaxy keyword also, so there's some good words there she can build around. Okay, she has two traits. First one is when Gamora targets more than one character with an attack, instead of dividing the damage, she may deal her printed damage value to each hit character. She does have 3 targets, 3 lightning bolts, and as you know, you can use your lightning bolts up close now. So when she targets more than one character with an attack that's range or close, she doesn't divide her damage. Right off the top, super good. Okay, second trait is the Crack the Case Wide Open. Once per turn, when an opposing character within 4 squares makes an attack, give a Gamora an evidence token. Free. Remove 2 evidence tokens to place Gamora adjacent to an opposing character within 4 squares and then make an attack. A couple things to note here. First of all, she does not need line of fire to those characters. So just a opposing character within 4 makes an attack, she gets an evidence token. It is once per turn. So if 3 opponents attack with meeting that criteria, you only get 1 evidence token for that turn. Next turn, you could get another one. Second thing to note here is it's free to remove the 2 evidence tokens. So let's say turn 1, opponent attacks, it's within 4, she gets an evidence token. Turn 2, opponent attacks within 4, she gets an evidence token. Then that same turn, she can do a free to remove them, remove the evidence tokens, go adjacent to that character or to an opposing character within 4 squares, and then make an attack. Okay, another thing to note, you don't have to go adjacent to the characters that gave you evidence tokens. It's just an opposing character within 4 squares. Also, it's free. So that means she can move, do other stuff if she has 2 evidence tokens. Then she can take a free action and then do the rest of that free action. The other thing to note here is she gets it when they make an attack. That attack doesn't have to hit. It doesn't have to damage. Your opponent makes an attack and misses, you get an evidence token. Okay, so that mechanic right there, once you get used to it, can be super useful, and there are multiple ways that you can use it on this Gamora. So she can move and then take the free, so you can use it to cover distance and then get to the main target that you want to get to. So maybe your opponent threw out some low point figures, they're within 4, gets her the evidence tokens. She can then move and then do her attack on another opponent that might be a better target for her. Okay, she also comes with charge on top dial, so you can charge, do your attack that way, and then free, place, and then do another attack. So a lot of versatility. Okay, she has 2 traits, or she has 2 special powers. One is an attack power, one is a defense. Special attack power is when Gamora targets a single character with an attack, they can't use defense powers. Okay, that's a can't use. It's not an outwit, so that gets through stop clicks if they're in the defense slot. Any powers that are in the defense, if she's only attacking that one figure, that figure can't use defense powers. Okay, then her own defense is combat reflexes and impervious. Okay, she also has charge, flurry, blades, toughness, and close combat expert, depending on where she's at on her dial. Okay, let's take a look at the back of her card. 125 or 60 points. She has the Guardians team ability and the PD team ability. If you are playing her at 125, I see value in both of these starting lines, but let's look at the 125 first. She's coming in with a 7 range triple target. She has charge and flight, a charge of 12, so she can go 6 and then attack. She has that special attack power with a 12 attack on her starting click on either point value. She has an 18 defense with the special defense that we just looked at on either starting value. And then at the 125, she's starting with 4 damage close combat expert. So that can be a 13 attack and 5 damage. On her lower points, she has the 10 charge, so she can go 5, so 1 less than the higher point value. Her attack is going to be 1 less. She doesn't have the close combat expert, but what she has is exploit. So she can charge in 11 attack, 3 exploit. Now, you could charge in and triple target with that. So then you could be hitting more than one character. And as you remember here on the front of her card, her special, her trait is that when she targets more than one character with an attack, instead of dividing the damage, she may deal her printed damage value to each hit target. Okay, so more than one. So if she charges in on top click, she can charge 6, attack with the 13, close combat expert, she's going to be having 5 damage to each character that she hits. She doesn't divide it. Lower click, 3 penetrating damage to each one of those targets. Okay. Now you can also use it from range, but she's really designed for in close. The range, I think, is just a boost on top of there. So if your opponent doesn't want to get close, they move in a little bit. 7 range is pretty good. She can ping them from out there. Or not even ping them. She'll be hitting them for 4 damage among 3 targets or 3 damage. But up close, she's super deadly. All right, let's take a look at a couple examples here how this plays out on the battlefield. Now, we're going to say that Gamora, she's over here in the corner. She's on your force. And we're going to say that the 2 police officers, Mad Hatter and Hulk, are your opponent's force over here. Okay, then we're just going to do it in short distance just for the video. But keep in mind, she could be charging 6 or 5 depending on which starting line you have her at. Okay, so let's say that we have her on her top starting line. She can charge in 6 from where she's at. So your opponent has got a little bit too close, or maybe you TK'd out Gamora. Now she can close the distance. She can charge in to right here. She has 3 bolts, so she can triple target all 3 of these figures. Since she's targeting more than one character, her trait kicks in, which means that instead of dividing the damage, she may deal her printed damage to each hit target. So on her top click, that would be close combat expert, taking her from a 4 damage to a 5. So she'd be swinging with a 13 for 5, 5, and 5 damage. Not penetrating, but still a significant amount of damage. Alternately, if you started her on 60, she could charge in that 5 and then be dealing 3 penetrating to each target that she hits. Okay. Now, she also flies. So the cool thing about the flight with charge is maybe your opponent has set up this way, where they kind of have some of their lower point figures here, and their main attacker is in the rear, trying to close the distance where then they can do whatever they can do to get into the battle. So they kind of have the front line here. Your flyer can go right over that front line, so she can charge in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right behind there to get to the main attacker, and then she could triple target, or she could charge all the way back here, get a single target. She has this power in her attack slot on her top dial of either value. And if you play her at the full point, you have 4 clicks of this, your first 4 clicks. When she targets a single character with an attack, they can't use defense powers. So you get in there, you can attack, close combat expert, 5 damage, no defense powers. Maybe this Hulk has stop clicks that you want to get through, so those 5 damage goes right through all that stuff. Okay, so lots of options depending on placements or on formations or on what kind of defenses you have to get through on your opponent. So a lot of different ways that Gamora is going to be damaging you, and that's just baseline without adding any equipment or even building out the build around her. Just on her own, super good. Once you build around her, you can make her extremely deadly. All right, thanks for watching today. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and if you have any unique team builds already planned for Gamora Prime. Check it out. If you dig what we do, go ahead and like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.